Everyone. Welcome to week 3 of Transformations in the Coordinate Plane. This week, our big question to answer is, how can we use mathematics to describe sports and players' movements in a sporting event, game, match, whatever you want to call it. So here, I have this clip of a LeBron James highlight reel. And in it, if we watch this clip, we want to be able to answer the question, how can we use mathematics to describe the movements of the player on this basketball court? Moving left, right, closer to the basket, farther away from the basket. If you can imagine some sort of coordinate plane on this court, how could you describe LeBron James' movements to, dunk that basketball? And let me pause that. So that's our big idea for this week is translations. How can we use translations to describe players' movements in a sporting event? So, to answer that, you'll need lots of different information, which you can get by going to the course modules page in Canvas. Let me just move this out of the way. So we go week 1, week 2, we are in week 3. So if you go straight to the introduction, that's where you'll find this video, and I will post it after I take it, which you already know that because you're watching this video. If you go next, this is where you will find the content material for this week, which just means our objectives for the week, our learning goals, and then all of the different ways to access the information that you'll need to complete the assignments for this week. So our objectives are that I want you to be able to describe the translations that occur during sports games. Also, we want you to be able to use Sketchboard, which is this digital whiteboard, to illustrate and describe the path of a player as they shoot a basket, score a goal, make a point, using 5 translations in the coordinate plane. So, and these goals you will accomplish through the assignments this week, which we'll talk about in a minute. So down below, there are videos you can watch, things you can read, and this is a little game just for practice. You can choose any of these resources. They all have the information that you will need to complete the assignments, so you can choose how you want to access this information, video, text, or active practice. And how to use the tools down here, we will use Desmos this week, and I also just have some basics, basketball, soccer, and then Sketchboard is another tool that we will use. So if you need any help using any of the tools, these are videos to start, or you can find your own video on YouTube. So if we go next, this is the section where I want you, it's probably helpful to other classmates here, so if you can post that, that would be great. So here I started it off, since this is the first week I added this discussion. So I found this transformation golf game, which is just for additional practice, and you can choose to check it out. It might be helpful. So yes, use this, post it for your classmates so we can all help each other learn. And then this first activity is a lab activity where you'll work with a partner and play around with translations in Desmos. You'll create sliders in Desmos, which I have a video on the resources page for how to do that. So you and a partner, which you can find your partner on this Google Doc, will complete this translation lab together via Google Docs. And so feel free to ask me any questions about this, but basically this lab is just what happens when you add and subtract values to a parent function, which you'll read about. Okay, check that out later. So I'm just looking for written responses to those questions to build a conceptual understanding of translations. And then we have this final assessment for this week. So you can begin by choosing one of these video clips below: basketball, soccer, rugby, volleyball, tennis, or a different sports game of your choosing if you want to find your own. So your task is to identify and describe at least 5 transformations in the video, including what time each occurs and any other information. For example, if you're doing basketball, you can say LeBron James moves 5 paces towards the basket at 1 minute and 12 seconds. And then he moves back away from the basket for 3 steps, and so on and so forth. Then you will design your own sports game using Sketchboard, so you can design your own players and draw the path of one player as they move around the court as they play the game. Show the movements, describe the translations that are occurring. Okay? And as always, feel free to email me with any questions at all. And good luck. Happy creating this week.